What's up, everybody? This is Akibang, and B Truth, and this is the Daily Walk Show. How y'all doing, everybody? What's up, B?
What's up? What's good?
Man, man, you had a good fourth?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, yeah. You still
Yep.
got that kung fu thing going on. You know what I'm saying? When you talking
Damn.
and fuck.
I
Keep talking. ABC.
yeah, I don't even know what to say. Am I?
Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, right. All right, there you go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on this weekend, man. We had a situation with Chicago, and we had this situation that happened in our own city, Grand Rapids, Michigan. So let's check it out.
People running across the Blue Bridge at the end of the fireworks show Saturday night. Two men are now facing charges and are accused of causing that panic. News 8's Kyle Mitchell explains what we're learning tonight about that investigation.
The Grand Rapids police chief says officers responded quickly, seeing what was happening from just yards away. A chaotic scene on the Blue Bridge during the Grand Rapids fireworks Saturday night captured on surveillance camera.
I think because the sound of fireworks could sound like gunfire or mask the sound of gunfire, it was extra alarming because people, rumor spread quickly by shouting, when someone started yelling gun, they've got guns. And then with the sound of the fireworks, it's tough for the untrained ear to distinguish.
Chief Eric Winstrom says the panic was caused by an altercation between two men in their early 20s when one showed a gun.
And in this case, the officers within, yards observed individuals in the confrontation. They saw the gun brandished. They were able to immediately move in, take action before any violence took place, before there was any threat to the public.
Police say no shots were fired and both men are facing charges for illegally possessing guns.
I don't understand the thought process of individuals who are going to an event where families are, there's, children are present, and then to think that they're going to get into an altercation and settle that altercation with a firearm. It's a very troubling, very scary situation, but because of the quick action by the officers that were stationed there.
Misinformation spread quickly, and the chief says officers were trying to explain to the crowd there's no need to panic.
I was out on the scene there, talking to families and just trying to, especially little ones, kids, let them know the police had everything under control. All the bad guys were in custody. There's no danger. We're here to protect you, just to, try and enjoy the fireworks show, but very alarming to those that witness this.
The chief says they have a detailed security plan and bring in additional officers.
While we're still growing, we're at the point where we were able to put over 100 police officers in strategic positions, including some officers in plain clothes, to make sure that everyone could see these fireworks safely. The plan worked. The first sign of these individuals who were acting suspiciously, officers moved in.
In Grand Rapids, Kyle Mitchell, News 8.
Kids like fuck that.
Right. Yeah, that's a family event. Like, why? The original videos I seen on Facebook, it looked like they were fighting, but yeah, it's nice to, I guess, hear that they had it under control. And he's right. Like, people, when it's a situation like that, it's almost hysteria. You see one person running and then you keep running.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you ain't asking no questions, especially us. We ain't asking no questions.
Yeah.
People running.
You ain't even got to shoot. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Someone's like, shit. You know what I'm saying? To take off running.
Like, what? Wait,
Wait a minute. Why am I running? But yeah, there's a lot of people running. Yeah, it was the same situation that happened in Minneapolis, I heard, over the weekend. And the police chief was so upset at the community, and unfortunately, it's the black community. You know what I'm saying? Well, the black culture, and they're doing the ghetto stuff, and they're gonna start holding, like, because there's teens that's just wilding out and shooting and everything like that. So they're gonna hold these parents accountable. So eventually, that's what's gonna happen in Grpd. I believe that's what I'm predicting.
That's what's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times kids are doing things and they're not going off after the parents because they realize how difficult it is sometimes to keep control of your children. But I feel like that's what's supposed to happen. They can't raise your kids for you, and it's got to be some consequences. You know, they got to start holding themselves accountable.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. We're gonna go for the Chicago one too, just to make it more interesting. But yeah, it's just crazy that these kids don't have nothing to do. Every time I've seen the videos of young teenagers, man, they don't have anything to do. There's no fun spots, and if it's a fun spot, it's definitely like a nightclub. You know what I'm saying? There's no skating rings like that no more because it's like a nightclub. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm at a point that I'm ready to be a part of a class action suit just to sue the hip hop community. Anybody that's pushing out bullshit, the Sexy Reds and all these thug niggas and shit like that. I'm ready to do like a class action suit to get rid of them because it's like y'all not helping. You know what I'm saying?
It's not, but I also feel like if you notice over the years, like I'll just go back to when I was in high school. In the summertime, I was in a job training program. So I was working during the summer. So even if I hung out with my friends in the evening, I still had responsibilities and everything like that. I still had something productive to do.
Right.
So today it's like kids don't even have an option to have something productive to do. Or if there is something out there, it's not broadcasted. You got to find it. You got to know somebody who knows somebody, you know, it's, they just have nothing to do. And then, you know, constant question I hear, where are the parents at? Unfortunately, with this era of kids and me having young adult children too, I get it. My kids aren't the type to be out there like that, but the parents probably outside with them.
The parents are definitely outside with them.
You know.
Yeah, instead of saying, where them parents at? They was like, where them parents at? They need to flip that song. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, I don't see them around. Like, you know what I'm saying? They really flip this song, man, because there ain't no parents out there, man. Or they right there partying with them, man. I remember going to a club one time and I met a mother and daughter in the club together. That was the weirdest shit I ever seen in my life. You know what
Me and my daughter hang out together.
Yeah,
we hang out together.
But they grown though. Like they super grown.
My daughter is 27.
Okay, yeah, so, she's grown. They're grown.
Yeah, she's grown. And yeah, I went out with her one night and it didn't
How was
end
that
well.
experience? You said it didn't end well?
Oh, I drank too much and I don't even remember. I blacked out that night.
So she had to carry you home.
She was gone too. Luckily, we had my responsible friend there to get us both home.
Well, you know, you have responsible friends, man. It's all about responsibility. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's check out this next video in Chicago, man. See what's going on over there, man. Because it's crazy. These kids are wilding out everywhere.
40 people have been shot and 6 killed across Chicago this 4th of July weekend. Some neighborhood residents walked the track at Avalon Park, unaware just hours earlier gun violence claimed the life of a teenage girl while wounding a man there.
I'm always shocked at the things that's happening in this area, but again, I'm getting used to it at the same time. But it is heartbreaking.
Just before 11 p.m. Friday night, investigators say gunfire erupted in the park located in the 1200 block of East 83rd Street on the city's south side. Police say 16-year-old Mia Smith died of a bullet wound to the throat, while a 35-year-old man was hit in the leg after an attacker approached them on foot and opened fire. In the hours to follow, there would be 2 new mass shootings. The first within the city's back of the yards neighborhood, leaving 7 people wounded. It happened near 48th and Justine just after 11 o'clock. That's when witnesses say 2 gunmen walked up to a crowd and started shooting. The 4 women injured range in age from 21 to 27 years old and were seriously or critically hurt, along with a 21-year-old and a 29-year-old man. A 42-year-old man also remains hospitalized. Another attack on the group happened near the Cook County Criminal Courts building. Investigators say 4 men were sitting in a car near 27th in California when another vehicle pulled up and someone inside started shooting. The men, who range in age from 25 to 33 years old, each suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Street pastor and anti-violence activist Dr. Donovan Price says he's concerned about what feels like an uptick in gun violence.
Sometimes it's about plain evil. And as long as people have guns, they're going to use them whenever they get angry. It's a tool of convenience, of angry convenience.
ABC 7 is tracking holiday weekend shootings from the morning of.
I'm sorry. So he thinks in Chicago is an uptick of gun violence?
What they didn't say, or did I miss it? Like, who are the people who have shot? Do they know who the people are who did the shootings? Is there a description? Like, I'm trying not to be a conspiracy theorist.
Nah, please.
Because, like, if you don't have a description, one would just assume based on that this is black on black. And
Correct.
Who's to say that it's not? Who's to say that
Right.
someone isn't going into, and they didn't even say who the victims were necessarily either. So none of that was kind of mentioned. And I don't know, I'm not that familiar with Chicago to know the areas like that. But
I know not to be in the South Side. I put you like that.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So one would just assume that it was a peer doing something to another peer.
We can't make that assumption because now they have black masks now that they can put on. And you know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, you're gonna see a black face and think it's a black person. And these rubber masks are so detailed and so defined and so realistic that you really won't be able to tell if it's black people or not. You know? I mean, same thing with white people. They got white masks and stuff like that. If you really wanted to go hard and wear a white mask, so you could, like, you know what I'm saying, pop somebody and then people think, oh man, a white guy shot this person. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, that I'm listening.
No, I was just gonna say it just seems so random.
Nah, it's always random in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, but 4th of July is definitely a high crime time because there's so much going on with the fireworks and everything like that. That, you know what I'm saying, this is an opportunity for me to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Because how people gonna tell the difference between the gunfire on the fireworks and the gunfire? You know what I mean? True. And a lot of time, police officers don't respond during the 4th of July because, I mean, they probably can't tell the difference, even though they got technology out there. But it's a lot going on. Why a cat or anybody, if it was black culture, or why anybody has the motivation to just say, okay, there's a lot of people here, let me just start busting shots in the air. I have no idea. Maybe it's just fun to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't got shit else to do. And the fact that they don't have, like you said, like they don't have any skill training or jobs available for these kids to teach them responsibilities. That's a great answer, man, because my son works right now. You know what I'm saying? He ain't well all that foolishness. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of his friends be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to this party. No, I'm good. He went to Grand Haven and they wanted to go to a party. He made his own decision. Like, no, I'm good, man. I'll stay over here, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
These cats don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you're involved too. You're an involved parent, and a lot of parents aren't involved, may not have the capacity to be involved, you know, or the grandparents might be raising them. They tired and raise their kids. They ain't got, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a domino effect, you know. And I feel like since COVID, things have been even worse because you went to online school. Now they don't even get the socialization. You know, for a while they weren't getting it. And then on top of that, like, it's just not enough programs, positive programs, whether that's job training programs, whether that's science clubs, whatever the case may be. It's just not enough of it.
I see a lot online saying that they have them.
Again, you got to search for it. You have to, like, know where to. It's like it's like secret. In my opinion, it's not put out there. I'll give you this example. So before moving to Grand Rapids, I lived in Detroit. I went to Detroit public schools. And I was a pretty smart student. So because of that, my teachers, they saw that I caught on really quick. I got high scores on the standardized testing and stuff. So they intentionally made sure I was aware of what programs were out there. Now I moved to Grand Rapids. I'm in honors classes in Grand Rapids, and they years behind what I learned in Detroit public schools with less resources, right? So I come here and I start getting bored. I start acting up in class. It's not challenging enough for me. And none of my white teachers here thought enough to be like, okay, this girl isn't challenged enough. Let me find something that will challenge her. No one ever was like, here's this program or here's that program. Because I cut up in Detroit schools too, because I would finish my work. And so, but the teachers recognize, like, when she do all her work, she know what she's doing. So let me give her something more to challenge her. I didn't get the same thing when I got here. So I didn't let my grades fall off, but I definitely became mediocre.
Damn. So is it a frequent? So you could say, like, you know what I'm saying, honestly say there's a certain frequency in Grand Rapids and a certain frequency in Detroit that's not clicking, correct?
I think so. I think when you're taught, speaking from the Black experience, when you're taught by people who look like you receive the information differently, right? And they care about you. They grew up in those neighborhoods. You know, they looking at you like, this is my child, this is my niece, this is my nephew, my sister, my brother. You know, so it's completely different than being taught by someone who doesn't look like you and who doesn't know the thing, that hasn't had a firsthand experience of what you deal with as being a Black child.
Right. So yeah, pretty much complexion for the protection. And yeah, just like they need to have more Black officers in both cities that have at least some type of familiarization of the people in the community. You know what I mean? And try to find opportunities for these kids to get out of trouble when they see them running astray. But Chicago gang culture and Grand Rapids gang culture is two different situations. You know what I'm saying? These kids be like, I heard about this a story about this kid named Little Yummy, in Chicago. He was like a 12-year-old killer. You know what I'm saying? He killed a lot of people, and I forgot how it ended, but I'm pretty sure he died. But yeah, it's a lot of kids that's out here being killers in Chicago at a very young age, 9-year-old and all types of stuff, man. So like, they're really that's their training. You know what I'm saying? That's their skill trade of killing people for other people, because they can go to jail and get right back out and do the same thing until they turn 18 and then be in there for the rest of their life. You know?
Right.
And our culture, stuff like that, so it's a heavy gang culture now. I can't say that it was the gang culture at Grand Rapids that caused the 4th of July conflict. But yeah, it's just, I don't know no more. I have no answers. And it's scary that you don't have an answer, and everybody got answers, but nobody have a solution. You know?
Right. It's almost no thought put behind their actions. Like, the consequences don't scare them. It's don't matter to them, I should say. And I put it like this too. I remember my brother telling me, he was like, I'm a grown man, but I come back to Grand Rapids and I got to worry about a guy. This is several years ago, being mad at me over a toy when we was a kid. This dude want to have beef with me over like, it's like, if anything, you know how like we had that big push for teaching about anti-bullying and stuff in school. We almost need to have a push for conflict resolution. How do you deal with conflict? How do you resolve things in a mature fashion?
I was doing that at Juvie, and I was talking to them about that, because I was one of the questions I asked, what pisses you off? You know? And one of the kids boys always said, yeah, man, I can't stand when a dude be trying to flex and everything and I said, so why are you concerned about him flexing? You know? How do you get out of that situation? Why do you allow his action to get you emotional? You know what I'm saying? What resources that you could just say that, cool, I'm proud of this guy trying to make moves and everything like that, and trying to think outside the box. How can I think outside the box? That's why I came here with the camera, because I want you to think outside the box. and it was like it just snapped in their head, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even that deep, but it was deep enough for them. You know what I'm saying? They said, like, yo, I want to do better for my life. I said, see, everybody's out here emotional because they most of the time they get all the information from their moms. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting a lot of information from their dad. Your dad teaches you that discipline. You know what I'm saying? Your mom nurtures you, but your mom's like, you know what I'm saying? Some moms are very hard. You know what I mean? Because they have to be hard because the father's not there for them to be soft. You know what I mean? And it's like, so you're developing those characteristics and stuff like that when you need to be developing discipline characteristics, which your dad would give you. You know what I mean? So it's like, I asked how many people miss their moms. You know what I'm saying? They all raise their hands. How many people miss their dads and stuff like that, and they don't even know how to raise their hand because they don't even know their father.
And then how many dads are around? Like, I'll say from my generation, for many people, your dad could be in a household and still not be present.
Absolutely.
You know,
man. I know how that
some
feels.
men just go to work, pay the bills. That's what they do, but they don't even interact with their kids.
Right. And it's sad. I'm not even a hug, you know. And a lot of kids, and that's the thing about it. A lot of these kids are looking for love in all the wrong places, and the streets got them. So that's why they so collectively with them and stuff like that. Because again, it's some type of love, even though it's like a bad love or a bad energy that will direct you into hell in the future. You know what I'm saying? They're receiving some type of fellowship, bonding. You know what I mean? And to be a part of something. A lot of these kids not even being a part of their family. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's such a clusterfuck of answers and solutions and strategies and you know what I'm saying and milestones that we gotta reach and we just ain't reaching it and it's gonna get to the point. This is what I had a vision of. Just like the migrant crisis is happening in America where ICE is out here picking people up. Trump got now alligator Alcatraz. You know what I'm saying? Whereas it's a facility for illegal migrants to be there and stuff. 3, eventually, and I think they started to create the narrative of us being back as being super predators because all the video footage is being shown on a regular basis of people being us being violent. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And why they keep showing these images of us being violent and in abundance and in different areas, we're going to start being public enemy number 1 again. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to they're causing it's starting to create a problem that they're going to have to react and have a solution for. You know what I'm saying? Because people are tired of seeing this shit. You saw the shit that's happening in the Carnival Cruise. They started restricting the black culture from being out there. You know what I'm saying? Because they're acting like they're on Spirit Airlines and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They tired of it, and now and I don't know because I don't do cruises. I don't like cruises at all. There's nothing about cruises that I want to go.
You ain't about to be in the middle of the ocean.
Not with a gang of cats just wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen too many videos, and plus every time people go on cruise, they come back with COVID. I'm like, I'm good. That's my main reason. Because people come back with COVID. I'm like, man, why would I want to go if I'm gonna get sick when I come back? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, but it's like y'all don't understand that. You know, it's the overplay for the underplay. You're creating a situation that, and you have the fundings to fix that situation, but you choose not to. And now you're gonna act like you're the solution, and everybody's gonna be jumping on board. Like, yeah, we got to get rid of these motherfuckers. So all these kids are gonna be displaced. All these kids are gonna get locked up. All these parents are gonna go along because they're gonna start applying the parents to the problem. You know what I'm saying? If you out here wilding out and these kids on the age, that's your fault. You know, and they're gonna do it. Watch what I say. Watch what I say. This is about to happen because they're not gonna keep on doing that. And yeah, they got to have a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because like even the chief mentioned before that how people was tripping about the situation that happened in Grand Rapids and stuff like that. A brother of ours that, you know what I'm saying, was trying to see about 3 kids that was interlaced, and kind of find out another guy was walking around open carried. This other guy ended up getting hemmed up that was a concerned citizen and a liaison of the community. And Vic and his wife ended up getting involved with it, and Vic had to drop the cop and all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He said that was some people like protesting and ready to rock on that, but with this high crime area, you know what I'm saying, nobody's protesting against the black on black crime. Well, the violence that's happening in the community, they're not doing it. You know, they only doing when it's black and white. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're starting to notice that. I saw that Minneapolis said the same thing. I said, yeah, they're gonna develop a plan. It's not gonna be good. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And parents, y'all need to wake up and try to take care of your kids, man. 'Cause I'm telling you, man, they coming for your babies, man, and they're coming for you. I promise you they are. It's gonna be sad and people gonna be angry, but you're creating this monster by yourself. You know. What you think?
Right.
What you think about that, D?
I think a lot of things need to happen. But as far as like protesting black on black crime, I think we need to do more of taking more control of our households and holding each other accountable within our communities. You know what I'm saying?
How do we do that? How do we do that?
And I know it's difficult today because people be like, don't be talking to my kid. I'm old school. If I see a kid doing some messed up stuff, I'm checking your kid in front of you. But that's just me. And I do it respectfully though. You know what I'm saying? Like even living where I live, I stay kind of in the hood or whatever. I come home, there's a bunch of kids outside and they parents sitting on my little stoop or whatever. And I'm just like, they like, oh, they be respectful. They be like, oh, we sorry. I'm like, y'all good, because there's nowhere for anybody to sit at, you know, and just be outside and enjoy the weather. I'm like, y'all cool. The kids can draw all over, use a little chalk on the sidewalk. I just ask that y'all pick y'all stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Just don't leave no trash out here or whatever. You're good. You know, I think it's just trying to create more relationships with your neighbors and stuff and getting to know them without the beefiness. You know what I'm saying? If I see a kid doing something, it doesn't have to be beefy. It could be like, hey little man, like, you know, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Or let me redirect you in a more positive way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be cussing somebody out or whatever the case may be. So
exactly. Because how could they know if a nigga never knew? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How could they know? That's our job.
Right.
I mean, just Michael actions of love can help a long way. You know what I mean? Cool.
Yeah.
So tell me what y'all think, Daily Walkers, man. What should we do? Do we have any strategies that we can push out there for the black community? That's micro levels of love that can help these young kids find a way back to a civil and not animalistic nature. We love our people, we love our children, we love the culture, man. But we got to fight against the culture, man, because if you're not creating media, media is creating you. So tell us what you think of the Daily Walk. This is Akibang and this is Be Truth. We out of here.
All right. Peace.
Peace.